What if a single obsession could destroy an entire ship? What if a man, driven by revenge, dared to fight nature itself in the form of a giant white whale? Welcome to Moby Dick, a masterpiece of American literature. This isn't just a story about hunting whales. It is a haunting tale about madness, fate, and the human spirit. And it all begins with one legendary line, "Call me Ishmael." Our narrator, Ishmael, is a restless young man who decides to escape the dullness of life on land by going to sea. He travels to New Bedford, a whaling town, where he meets Pequod, a tattooed harpooner from a distant island. Though Pequod looks terrifying at first, the two become fast friends, a bond forged by the sea. Together, they sign up to work on a whaling ship called the Pequod, a mighty vessel with a mysterious captain named Ahab. At first, Captain Ahab is nowhere to be seen. The crew whispers about his strange behavior. They say he never leaves his cabin, that he walks the deck at night, that he lost his leg to a monstrous white whale. When Captain Ahab finally appears, everything changes. He's a towering figure with a prosthetic leg carved from whale bone. His face is hardened by suffering. His voice is commanding. But most of all, he burns with a singular, terrifying obsession. He gathers the crew and announces, "That whale, the white whale, Moby Dick, took my leg. I'll chase him to the ends of the earth." From that moment, the voyage transforms. They are no longer on a mission to harvest whale oil. They are on a vengeful hunt for the creature that wounded Ahab, a whale so large, so cunning, so legendary, that many sailors believe it to be supernatural. Ahab becomes consumed. He nails a gold coin to the mast and promises it to whoever first spots the white whale. The crew is swept up in his madness, not knowing it will lead many of them to their deaths. The Pequod sails across vast oceans, the Atlantic, the Indian, the Pacific, in search of Moby Dick. Along the way, they meet other ships and hear strange stories of sightings, close calls, and ruined men. Every tale adds to the myth of Moby Dick, this monstrous, almost divine force of nature. But it's not just a sea adventure. Throughout the journey, Ishmael dives deep into philosophy, religion, and science, questioning humanity's place in the universe. What is fate? Can man conquer nature? Or is he just a small creature drifting on a merciless sea? Tension grows on board. Some of the crew start to question Ahab's sanity. Starbuck, the first mate, begs him to give up the chase. But Ahab is deaf to reason. He's locked in a battle, not just with a whale, but with God, destiny, and death itself. After months of searching, they finally find Moby Dick. The white whale rises from the deep like a ghost, enormous, scarred, and fierce. The hunt spans 3 brutal days. Day after day, Ahab throws himself at the beast. The whale smashes boats, crushes men, and defies every attempt to kill it. On the 3rd day, Ahab manages to harpoon Moby Dick, but as the rope wraps around him, he is pulled into the sea. His last words vanish beneath the waves. Then the Pequod is struck. The ship shatters. The sea swallows everything. Only Ishmael survives, floating on Pequod's coffin, which had been carved earlier in the voyage, as if fate had prepared it. He is rescued by another ship and lives to tell the tale. Moby Dick is not just about whales. It's about obsession, about man versus nature, and the madness of pride. Captain Ahab is a symbol of humanity's refusal to accept limits. He tries to dominate the unknowable, and in doing so, he brings about his own destruction. The white whale isn't evil. It simply is. Like death, like nature, like time, it cannot be reasoned with. And when we try to fight forces bigger than ourselves, we risk sinking everything. That's why this story is timeless. It is an epic that still speaks to us, because we all have our own white whale we chase. Now, let's dive deeper. Why does Ishmael start the story by saying, Call Me Ishmael. It sets an intimate tone, inviting us into his story as a friend. Plus, the name Ishmael means God will hear, hinting at the themes of fate and destiny throughout the novel. He wants to escape the mundane routine of his life. He longs for adventure and excitement. In a way, he's already chasing his own white whale, the desire for something beyond the ordinary. We meet Pequod, a harpooner from a faraway island, a place called Coco. Pequod is covered in tattoos, which in the 1800s were often seen as symbols of danger and exoticism. But as Ishmael spends time with Pequod, he realizes there's more to the tattoos than meets the eye. They tell stories and have deep meanings rooted in Coco's culture. This challenges Ishmael's initial perceptions, showing him that what seems foreign or scary might actually be beautiful and meaningful if only he takes the time to understand it. Their friendship also highlights the novel's central theme of tolerance and acceptance. In a world filled with prejudice and fear of the unknown, Ishmael and Pequod show that differences shouldn't divide us. Instead, they should bring us together. Their bond teaches Ishmael to look beyond physical appearances and embrace the richness that diversity brings to our lives. But then enters Captain Ahab, a character who seems straight out of legend. He's a powerful, almost mythical figure who commands both respect and fear. Ahab has a commanding presence. He's a skilled sailor and a brilliant strategist, which makes him an inspiring leader. But he's also haunted by his past. Ahab lost his leg in a previous encounter with Moby Dick, an event that has left him with a deep sense of anger and a thirst for revenge. He becomes obsessed with finding the whale, dedicating his life to the hunt. Ahab's obsession with revenge drives the novel's plot forward. His determination to find and kill Moby Dick takes over his life, consuming him completely. He becomes so fixated on his goal that he's willing to risk anything to achieve it, even the lives of his crew. This relentless pursuit leads the Pequod on a long and dangerous journey across the seas, where they encounter various adventures and challenges. Ahab's obsession also explores the dangers of unchecked ambition. As he becomes more and more consumed with his quest, he loses sight of everything else in his life. He puts his crew in harm's way and ultimately destroys himself and everyone around him. Finally, we meet Moby Dick, the elusive and mysterious white whale that has captured Ahab's imagination. Moby Dick is more than just a whale. He becomes a symbol of the unknown, of the forces of nature that humans can never truly understand or control. Moby Dick is elusive and difficult to catch, which makes him even more desirable to Ahab. The whale becomes a metaphor for the mysteries of the natural world that continue to baffle and intrigue us to this day. As you delve deeper into Moby Dick, you'll encounter unforgettable characters and unforgettable scenes. You'll witness the beauty and wonder of the ocean and the dangers that lurk beneath its surface. You'll explore themes of obsession, revenge, and the limits of human understanding. Moby Dick is a story that will stay with you long after you finish reading it. Its characters and themes will continue to resonate in your mind, challenging you to confront your own inner white whale. So let the adventure begin. Dive into this captivating tale and discover the secrets that lie within.